This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be showing off my really cool glyos haul that I've been having lately. I'm just so stoked to show you all these crazy cool things that I have. So what are we waiting for? Let's check out all these awesome glyos toys. Alright guys, so I want to show off a few things that I've been picking up recently, and I kind of want to start doing more glyos hauls throughout the year, just because it's fun for me, man, and it gives me an excuse to play with my toys. So the first thing I got here was this fella. I am a big fan of the Biomasters. They are some of my favorite glyos toys. They're just so different and so unique. They're just weird looking characters. I mean, he's like a big ball with tentacles and crab legs, bat wings, and little scythe hook arms, and a spiked mohawk. I mean, that is one of the weirdest things ever, but it works, and I love it. And this is a colorway that I totally missed out on a long time ago. I love that metallic purple. I just think it looks so cool. And again, if you have any of those figures, like this one right here, here's the Battle Tribes figure of that same deco, it matches absolutely perfectly. I love that. So you can mix and match these figures or any other matching figures to do your own thing, which I think would be really awesome. Or, you know, just have him, you know, riding on top of this guy if he wants to be, that would be his mount if you want to. So you can do all kinds of things with this. I just love that, man. And again, always getting a new Biomaster is always fun for me. Again, they are some of my favorite glyos toys. Next up, I got these really cool Armivores. I actually got these a while back. I just never showed them off in a video. Some of the other things I've been trying to hunt down are Armivores, and these two are some of the hardest ones to come by because you rarely see them come up for sale, pretty much because everyone is keeping them because they're freaking awesome. But I love this. Clearly a Bebop homage, which I think is really rad. I love the paint on this, and that helmet just works out so good with that aesthetic. I think it looks great. It does come with this big cannon blaster right there, which is really cool. But I also got this one right here, which I guess would be your Rocksteady. It looks really good too, and again, they use that armored like reptilian head for that. I think it looks really cool. But again, how they designed the deco just looks really cool to me, and I love that. And again, I just really love the Armivores. I'm trying to get every single figure of those. It's just a really long process. It's a lot of money, I'll say that. These things are not cheap, man, especially some of the older ones, especially some of the more popular ones like this. So luckily, a guy in the Facebook groups hooked me up with a great deal, and I absolutely love these. So stoked to add these to the collection. Next up is this guy right here, man. Now, this is one of the few figures I needed for my collection. This is just one that was missing, and I finally got this guy in the collection. Very cool pterodactyl-like character. I absolutely love this demon mold that we got here. We don't really see it a whole lot these days, but it looks like we're going to be getting a little more here and there. But I do love the way this came out. I love the wings, man. This has always been such a cool design. Absolutely love this big old like bronze axe. I think it looks awesome. That pterodactyl head looks really cool. So really happy to have this guy again. One of the few I needed for my Battle Tribes collection. Alright, next we have this guy right here. This is actually the last one I needed for my Battle Tribes collection, this bat character. So with this particular figure, that wraps up the entire Battle Tribes collection that I have now. I finally completed all of Battle Tribes, which took me, honestly, probably a few years to finally track them all down to complete the set. And this was the last one I needed. I absolutely love the bat head. I think that's definitely one of my all-time favorite heads with a really cool wing. I absolutely love the sword. The colors look really cool with that orange and greens and that like tan color. All looks really cool. But the cool thing is, or the more interesting thing is, I've actually had this figure for a long time. Kinda. I've had this one for about almost 2 years now. This one has been kind of the stand-in for this particular figure. Now you might be asking yourself, what do you mean? I don't get what's happening here. What are you talking about? This one is actually an error figure. This was a paint error. This isn't the actual retail release that they sold online. This was an error, and the main way you can tell is by the chest area. The paint apps right here pretty much painted the whole torso here with that light tan instead of this like almost like furry chest piece right here, which is how it was supposed to be. I had gotten this one years ago, and this was kind of like my stand-in piece, so I never actually had the full-on retail version, which is this one. So this one technically completes my set, even though I've had this one for a while. But this one's more in like, I like to call it the oddities, you know what I mean? Those unreleased figures or whatever you might see, factory errors and things like that, or unreleased products. So he's definitely in that category. But now I finally have the actual official version. So it's actually really cool. I'm really stoked, honestly. And I feel fortunate to have both of these figures in my collection. All right, next up we have this fella right here. This is one I've been wanting for quite some time, and I had heard about it. Now I just actually own it. And again, you might be asking yourself, well, you said you already completed your collection, so how are you just now getting this one? The difference is, this is actually a factory error. This is another figure that came in with the wrong paint. This one right here is the full-on retail version that I've had in my collection. So I've already had this one for a while. I got this one very early on when I started collecting Battle Tribes figures. So I've already had this to complete my series. This one, on the other hand, is a factory error. The main real difference you're going to see with this is going to be the paint on the head. So if I could turn the heads around right here and turn the heads around right there, you can see where the paint didn't wrap all the way around like it was supposed to. Turn that side to that side, and you can see the same thing right there. This is how it was meant to be. This is one they retailed online. This is the actual, supposedly the actual figure. This is a paint error. You can see it just didn't connect around the head and over the ears. So this one is going to be a little harder to come by, man. Again, I'm just really stoked to have it in my collection. But it's still really cool having both versions. It's a very, very subtle paint error. Some people might not even notice or might not even care. I don't know. But I'm really stoked that I have both versions in my collection. So again, this goes in that oddities category of things like that. So I'm really happy that I have this. Now here's another one that I just got too. I am so stoked about this one. This figure is extremely hard to come by. And what I mean is, this is another factory error because I already have the actual retail version, the one that they sold online. This is the actual figure that was released, which is really cool, already really hard to come by as it is. I got this one very early on when I started collecting glyos and battle tribes and things like that. So I was really lucky to get this back then. Now it's become a lot harder to come by, but this one is a factory error. Now, much like that other one I just showed you right now, this one has a little more differences. So if you can see these side by side, you guys notice the differences here right away. Is it pretty easy to see? The swords are some of the main things I noticed first of all right there. The lot more bolder yellow on the sword for the actual retail version, and then you have the thinner yellow going on in this error version. It's supposed to be more like this with that bold yellow. Also, you can look at the V-neck right here is completely different. It doesn't curve in like this one does right here, and actually runs a little lower than the retail version like that. So that's a big difference too. And then you're going to see the actual eyes right here. I'm going to try and get a good image of this so I can zoom in right there. You can see that a little better. The error it just has the iris painted, a little black dot in the center of the eye. This one has the actual eyelid painted, so it changes up the look dramatically of the eyes. And then this one also has the nostrils painted for the actual retail release. So that is a pretty dramatic difference. A lot more paint errors on this one. So again, the retail version right here is already hard to come by. It's already extremely difficult to find, but this one, man, and with being so many different paint errors, I can see this one being even harder to find. It is crazy. But again, I feel very fortunate to have both of these in my Battle Tribes collection. All right, next up, I have this guy right here. And now I'm not here to show off this guy. I bought this guy a couple years ago. I think he was a D-Con exclusive, if I remember, from like 2018, 2019. If you guys remind me, let me know. But this is one of my favorite Battle Tribes figures. I absolutely love this. But again, I'm not here to show off this particular figure. I'm here to show off some unreleased parts, unpainted parts for this guy that I was able to get my hands on. As you can see, I have a bunch of parts that were unreleased and unpainted. So if I wanted to, you take this head off, put on the unpainted one like so. Now you have something like that. Take off that mace right there, put on the unpainted one like that. Take off the shield, again, put on the unpainted one like that. Mix and match those different parts. And I'll bring this in right here. I actually have the little tree right here from the injection mold, and you can see one of the heads is still attached to it like that. So this is very cool, man. Again, this is very behind the scenes oddity stuff that a lot of people don't get to see or don't get to own. I just love having stuff like this. I'm a big fan of Battle Tribes, so this stuff for me is very special. So I absolutely love this. And again, for this character being one of my favorite Battle Tribes figures, it gives me more options to display him in different ways, man. So I absolutely love that. You know, take that head off, put on the Triceratops head if you want that. Again, these are unreleased pieces that are going to be extremely hard to find. You can get that head on right there, which I think is really cool. So I love that. You can put on the little Triclops, the Cyclops head like that. And you can even see a little bit of pieces on the side of the head right there that I do need to trim off from the injection mold. You can see that right there at the top of the head. So that's pretty interesting. So I just love that, man. I think it's very cool to have stuff like this. It is very rare. It's very hard to come by. So I'm just very stoked that I even own these things because it's just something special to me. So I think it's really cool to have things like this. So very fun. I was also able to get my hands on some pieces for the BTW figures. Now, you might say that, you know, these are like, well, these are the same blank figures that we received before, the Battle Builders blanks, but I've never seen them in this particular color. It's very subtle, and you might not be able to tell right off the bat, but they do have more of an orangish hue to them. And I have every Battle Tribe Wrestling figure, and none of them match this color. So I'm not sure what these are from, where they came from. I mean, you see, I have all the different parts right here. It's not a full figure, it's just like the heads and the extra accessories and things like that. So the head, you know, I got an unpainted belt here, you know, just the different types of heads right here, which are all really cool. So I love that. So I have, like, you know, Big Fry right here. And again, none of them match this particular color. So I'm not really sure what these were meant for. I'm assuming they were just color samples that maybe the factory had sent them, and maybe they were rejected because it wasn't the right shade that they wanted. I don't know. But it's very interesting to see these things in these particular colors that we've never seen before. And if we have seen them before, please feel free to let me know, because again, I have every BTW figure, and this doesn't match any of them, so I have no clue what they're for. Again, I'm assuming they're just factory error in the shade of colors, and they were rejected. So, but either way, I think that's really cool, man. Again, some oddity stuff that we don't get to see often. And hey, having a little mini battler right here, that's definitely going to go in the little collection, because I just think that's really cool. So I love that a lot. Okay, so now moving on to this guy right here. I've had this figure for a while. Again, he was an exclusive for, I think, a D-Con as well. I've had this one in my collection for a while. He is my favorite BTW figure. Absolutely love him. But again, I'm not here to show off him. I'm here to show off some blank parts that I was able to get. This is insane, dude, because I love this shade of pink. It's so bright and vibrant and stands out on the shelf. Now I have some blank parts to add to this. So you can see a full little mini figure right here like that with a fry head on there. No extra torso pieces to build another figure. But again, extra accessories, like I do have some blank boots right there, some other types of heads, unpainted heads for this. And if I remember, he never got a battle builder, so it's interesting to see these pieces in blanks. So, if I could take off that painted head and put on the unpainted head and things like that, which is really cool. I even have things like a belt right here that's unpainted. If you look at this head right here, you can still see some of the plastic from the injection mold like that. I even have the tree right here that all these pieces came on. So again, it's very interesting to see stuff like this. Again, those oddities, man. It's just really cool owning stuff like this if you're a hardcore collector for battle tribes and things like that. So I love that. But what's really cool, if you wanted to, or I should say if I wanted to, I can take off all these painted pieces with everything I have here, and I can have a full-on battle builder of this particular guy, which has never been released. I don't believe, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but again, I don't think we ever got a battle builder of this figure, but now I'm able to do that with these extra pieces, and I think it's a lot of fun, man. It just looks really cool. I, again, love that hot pink. It looks great to me, so I'm so stoked to add these extra pieces to the collection, because for me, it's always fun having this interesting stuff. And again, hey, a new little minifigure like that to add into my little mini battle builders, or a little micro battlers, I forget what they're called. And still, that's really cool, man. A lot of fun for me. Now, something I wanted to show off that's very special, I think, is these 3D printed heads. These are from my man Ken, who's on the Facebook groups and things like that. He's 3D printing these little pieces and extra heads and sculpts and things like that, which I think are a lot of fun. Now note, these aren't glyos plastic. This is that 3D modeling plastic, which is really cool. But they still do work. So like here's an Armorvore body right here. You can pop these on and they work perfectly for your glyos toys. The plastic on them feels very sturdy, very solid. Again, they hold on to those joints and sockets very well, so I love that. They don't feel loose, they don't feel cheap, they feel like very good quality, but I love this, man. And this particular head sculpt right here, the skull, looks so rad. Lots of like biomechanical type stuff in there, looking really cool. So I dig this, man. This looks really rad to me. Super happy to have these. And again, I'll try to leave a link to his Facebook page so you can hit him up, or you could purchase these, because I just think these are really cool and it'd be awesome. You guys are probably more talented than me. I'm an artist, but I'm a terrible painter, but still I would love to paint some of these up to match some of these figures that I already have, because I just think they're really, really cool. We also do have more standard skulls like this, which I think are really rad too. I love the way these ones turned out. These look really nice too. All that detail in there just looks fantastic. I'm gonna bring in, I'll bring in this Battle Tribe figure right here. So that's the only one I have on my thing. This fits on the Battle Tribe's heads, or Battle Tribe's bodies like that. The proportions do feel a little better for these. These ones are a little bigger and bulkier, so these work more for like things like the Armorvore, the bigger figures. But I do love this like that. And if you want, what I like to do, I like to raise it up a little bit, because if you push it all the way down, it almost doesn't look like it has a neck. But what I've been doing, I've been just pushing it down a little bit like that, like halfway. So it looks like it sits a little more proportionate, and it still kind of looks like it has the spine column coming out to the neck. So I think that looks like really cool. So I love that. And man, I really want to paint some of these up because they're just so cool. They're a lot of detail, again, very good quality. I think that's the thing I was most stoked about, is that the quality felt really good, so I love that a lot. So I'll take that off. He also sent me this head right here, which is this skull head with a hood around it. I think that's really funny. Yeah, man, again, I wish I was better with some paint, because I would paint that thing up so quickly. I just think it looks very cool. Such a great looking headpiece. So I'm going to take that off right here. And I'm going to go ahead and bring my big fry back in like so. Because what we do have for here, I'm going to pop this one on. We have a sushi head. Holy crap, I love this. This is so cool. I love the facial expression with the teeth. The depth of the mouth looks really good too. I think this is awesome, man. And I'm not sure if this was an original design or an unused head for the BTW figures. I don't know. but still, this is very cool. Again, man, having this sushi head painted up would look so rad. So I definitely probably want to pick up a couple more of these and attempt to paint this. So this sushi head would look so cool on a few different figures. Man, I wouldn't mind painting this up to put on my this guy right here, that hot pink. I think it'd be so dope. So I love the way that turned out. Now, something special for me, I'm going to bring in the Ninja right here, which a lot of you might know. I had a big hand in helping the guys over at Spy Monkey create the Ninja. So here's the thing. We worked on a few designs for different head sculpts and things like that, and different options, different weapons. Some of those things went through, which became the final figure. Some of them did not. So here's some of the heads that did not make it. We put this one right here. Here is an Oni mask head that was a design that I had done that never made the final product. What's cool now is that Ken is taking some of those unused designs and making them 3D printed to be compatible with these figures. This to me is very cool because I'll be honest, I was like, oh man, I really wish that head would have made it. But again, I get it. The logistics and stuff like that sometimes don't work. Totally understand. But it's still really cool to finally see that final design in the 3D form like this for the Ninja right here. So I love the way this looks. Man, it looks so good. I mean, the printing he's using is very high quality. And again, it works with the figure so well. So I'm very happy about this. Now, another one that I had worked on that didn't make the cut here was this Raven head. This was a Raven hooded head, which was so cool. I thought it came out like a great design, and I love the way this turned out. But that looks so awesome to finally have that on a actual figure right here. So I love the way that looks. Man, I want to paint these so bad. I'm definitely gonna be working on these. But this Raven head with the hood was just so awesome. Really happy the way this turned out. So Ken, if you're watching this video, I think you did a great job printing these out, man. These look so nice. I am just super happy to have this. So there it is, guys, my latest haul of Glyos toys. Now, I hope you enjoyed seeing a lot of these things that you may not have seen before. A lot of these error figures, unreleased pieces, and things like that, for me are very special, and I love them so much. I've become a diehard Glyos fan, especially of things like Battle Tribes and Warlords of War. I absolutely love those toy lines, so getting those very special things not everyone can get or even know about is very cool to me, and I love them so much. I think they're a lot of fun. And hey, I'll try again to leave a link to Ken to his Facebook page so you can get some of those 3D printed heads. I'm so stoked about all of those. They are so much better done than I thought they would be. He's done an amazing job, so hit him up if you want to buy some of those cool heads. I think they're all great, but still, all these are so much fun, and I hope to bring you a lot more Glyos videos in the future. So please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.